Swedish authorities seized a ship sailing under the flag of Malta and registered in Bulgaria over the suspected sabotage of an underwater cable.
The Russian Defense Ministry claimed that its forces captured Velika Novosilka, an operationally important town in Ukraine's Donetsk region.
People around the world commemorate the 80th anniversary of the Holocaust by paying tribute to the millions killed by Nazi Germany.
A Bulgarian ship was seized by authorities after an underwater cable running between Latvia and Sweden was damaged, sparking fresh fears of foreign sabotage. The cable operator said there was reason to believe that the damage may be due to external influence. The incident follows similar cases reported in the past 2 months within the Baltic region. Germany's Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock said both the EU and NATO are intensifying cooperation to combat the danger.
Weitere beschädigte Kabel, das kann alles kein Zufall sein. Immer wieder gestörte GPS-Signale, kritische Infrastruktur, die ausgespäht wird mit Drohnen. Auch hier arbeiten wir als EU und NATO noch stärker zusammen.
The seized vessel reportedly left the Russian port of Ust-Laga only 2 days before the incident.
The Russian Defense Ministry claimed that its forces captured Velika Novosilka, an operationally important town in Ukraine's Donetsk region. If confirmed, its capture would mean a significant gain for Russian forces in the Donbas. The Ukrainian army, however, says it withdrew from some parts of the village to avoid encirclement, but still holds other parts. With Ukraine in an increasingly difficult situation on the front lines, EU foreign ministers agreed on Monday to extend again the sanctions on Russia.
Then, of course, it is good that we discuss what more can we do, putting pressure on Russia to end this war. It's also good that President Trump has put the pressure on Russia to say that it's in their hands to end this war.
The EU is extending its existing sanctions against Russia after Hungary withdrew its threat to block the rollover.
Thousands of Palestinians have finally begun their return to the destroyed north of the Gaza Strip after being forced out from their homes in the first weeks of the war. Many of the Gaza inhabitants feared they would never be able to return to what is left of their homes in the north, especially after Donald Trump proposed to clean out Gaza and send Palestinians to Egypt and Jordan.
واحنا ان شاء الله حنضلنا صامدين من هان ل1000 سنه وغصب عن نتنياهو وغصب عن ترامب وغصب عن حكام العرب الخون ان شاء الله حنضل صامدين في غزه ان شاء الله وهنحرر بلاد العرب كلها ان شاء الله.
The human caravan, which is moving parallel to the Mediterranean and has been welcomed by Hamas, was blocked over the weekend at the Nusayrat camp after Israel accused Hamas of breaking the fragile ceasefire.
جينا من غزة من الشمال لعند هانا عشان نلقي فيه بديش لك الشاشه ومن أول البحر من أول يوم في الحرب تركنا بعض وهو طلع واحنا ضلينا في الشمال والحمد لله رب العالمين التقينا بعد 470 يوم.
Over 1 million Palestinians left northern Gaza in October 2023. Hundreds of thousands of Gazans refused to move south and remained in the area, which suffered the worst attacks and destruction of the conflict.
Three more Israeli hostages are set to be released by Hamas before Friday, easing the first major crisis of the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Qatari mediators announced early on Monday that Arbel Yehoud would be among the next release of hostages. Israel had said that Yehoud was supposed to have been released ahead of the 4 soldiers that were released on Saturday. It also accused Hamas of failing to provide details on the conditions of hostages set to be freed in the coming weeks. As a result, Israeli authorities did not allow Palestinians to return to northern Gaza as was agreed in the ceasefire deal. The office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the hostage release will take place on Thursday and confirmed that Palestinians can move north on Monday. Israel's military said people could start crossing on foot at 7 a.m. local time.
People around the world are paying tribute to the victims of the Holocaust on its 80th anniversary. Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Dick Schoof, among with hundreds of people, attended a Holocaust commemoration in Amsterdam on Sunday, held at the Auschwitz Memorial in Park. Jacques Grishever from the Dutch Auschwitz Committee reflects on the enduring pain of the Holocaust.
De pijn is niet verdwenen, maar heeft mij wel steeds de kracht gegeven om te vechten voor een wereld waarin nooit meer Auschwitz niet slechts een belofte blijkt, maar ook een werkelijkheid wordt. Nooit meer Auschwitz is meer dan een herdenkingskreet. Het is een opdracht.
Whilst Auschwitz survivor Barbara Donetska, who was 10 years old at the time, carries the memory of those who perished in the camps, especially her 4-year-old friend Helena. Shaken by Helena's death, she returns to the camp to pay tribute.
Zastanawiam się, jak ja to mogłam przeżyć, ten głód, to zimno. Strach o życie przede wszystkim. Oj, okropnie, jak się płakały, Boże.
Nazi Germany claimed over 6 million Jewish lives, but also millions of others, including Poles, Roma, and Sinti, Soviet prisoners of war, gay people, and others targeted for elimination in Adolf Hitler's racial ideology.
The European Union has threatened new sanctions on Belarus after President Alexander Lukashenko looked certain to score his 7th consecutive election win since 1994. Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas released a joint statement with Enlargement Commissioner Marta Koss, slamming the sham election. The relentless and unprecedented repression of human rights have deprived the electoral process of any legitimacy, the statement said. They didn't give any more details about what the eventual new sanctions package would target or when it would be implemented. Final votes are still being counted and the result is expected to be announced later on Monday. But state television said on Sunday that Lukashenko was on course to take almost 88% of the vote. His 2020 election win was also dismissed as a sham by the West, and the result sparked weeks of widespread protests across the country. That prompted a brutal crackdown by security forces and led to 65,000 arrests. Belarus is holding an estimated 1,200 political prisoners. Since July, Lukashenko has released around 250 that rights activists say were jailed for political reasons.
Никакие они не политзаключенные. Они нарушили уголовный кодекс. Если кому-то интересно это, мы можем уголовное дело сейчас показать и показать, какие статьи закона нарушены. Можно сказать, что закон у нас плохой, но он закон. Я же об этом говорил.
But it's unlikely that the condemnation from Western leaders or the threatened EU sanctions will make much of a difference to Lukashenko. I don't give a damn about the West, he told the press in Minsk.
The priceless manuscript of Chopin's Ballade in F minor has now come into Polish hands. This previously unpublished autograph was acquired from private owners through confidential and lengthy negotiations.
Chopin jest naszym dziedzictwem kulturowym, zarówno jako postać, jako człowiek, jako muzyka. Jest znakiem i symbolem polskości i Polski, więc bardzo się cieszę, że do dziedzictwa niematerialnego, jakim jest muzyka Chopina, dołączył do nas ten fakt materialny, rękopis. Cieszę się, że trafia on do Muzeum Chopina, do Instytutu Chopina, instytucji publicznej, która jest najbardziej kompetentna, żeby ten rękopis został po pierwsze opracowany, sprawdzony, ale także i przede wszystkim udostępniony publiczności, udostępniony społeczeństwu.
The manuscript of the Ballade in F minor will be featured in the upcoming exhibition Romantic Life: Chopin, Chauffeur de la Croissant.
Wystawa Życie romantyczne powstanie przede wszystkim we współpracy z Muzeum Życia Romantycznego w Paryżu, które udało się namówić na wypożyczenie nam ponad 70 obiektów, co spowoduje, że to będzie pierwsza, o ile wiem, tego typu tak poważna wystawa sztuki francuskiej w kontekście chopinowskim i w kontekście muzycznym zorganizowana w Polsce.
The event will coincide with the International Frédéric Chopin Piano Competition in Warsaw.
Rękopis Ballady F-moll to najlepiej przebadany manuskrypt Fryderyka Chopina. Można go oglądać w Muzeum Fryderyka Chopina przy ulicy Okulnik 1. Berenika Sorokowska, Euronews Polska.
So this exhibition explores a period of real flourishing of the arts in Brazil, running from roughly the 1910s to the 1970s. It was a period when artists, writers, thinkers were all wanting to really shape the direction of their young, ambitious country. And so in this exhibition, we've taken 10 of the artists who were part of this movement that's now known as Brazilian modernism, and we've dedicated a space to each of these artists so that our visitors can come and really explore in depth each artist's individual approach towards modernism. Artists of Afro-Brazilian descent and indigenous descent, and so the artists themselves reflect the diversity of Brazil, but they also were reflecting that diversity in their art. There was, for a lot of these artists, being able to capture what made Brazil unique was a key thing that drove them.